this video, we're going to look at calendars in NIM. NIM calendars are designed to share company-wide and per-job events with users. Calendars are best used for marking meeting dates, event planning, whiteboarding out production, and significant job dates such as client postings and creative reviews. Multiple calendars can be created at the studio and per-job level for organizational purposes. Studio calendars and job calendars work the same way, and in this video, we're going to focus on the studio section. First, when entering calendars, there's two main sections to the calendars. You have your calendar list, which is the list of all available calendars in that area, as well as the calendar views. The calendar views are broken up into a month, week, and day view, along with an agenda view that spans several days. In the month view, we can see that we have events for multiple calendars. You can choose which calendars are visible by checking the checkbox to the left of the calendar name. By turning off the checkbox, you can limit which calendars are visible. If no calendars are visible and you go to create a new event, that event will automatically be added to the currently selected calendar, and that calendar will become visible. Now, if I select my other calendars, I'll be able to see them side by side with my other events. To select a different calendar to make it the active calendar, just click on the calendar name. The currently active calendar will be highlighted. Functionally, you can still edit and adjust any event for any calendar. However, when new events are made, they will be automatically applied to the selected calendar. When looking at events in our calendar view, we're currently highlighting our events by calendar colors. We do have the option to highlight them by event colors, resource colors, task colors, or location colors. Resource, task, and location colors are defined in the administrative section in NIM. Event colors can be defined per event by editing the event, choosing a new color from the color picker, and clicking apply and saving your changes. Calendar colors are set on the calendar themselves by editing the calendar, clicking on the color swatch, selecting a new color, and clicking apply. The calendar will refresh and the new color changes will automatically be applied. To create a new event in the calendar, double-click on a day and the event editor will pop up. In the event, you have the option to enter a title, a description. You can select a resource, a task, a location for that event. You can also choose a user to associate with that event, the per event color, and you have the option to choose which calendar the event will be associated with. By default, the currently selected calendar will be automatically selected. Moving over to the Duration tab, the start and end date will be automatically set to the day that you clicked on. We can adjust the duration of the event to span multiple days. And when looking at events, they have the option to be all-day events. All-day events are independent of time zones and are locked to the specific dates. Turning off all-day events enables time zones and allows you to select individual times for that event. Clicking on the time zone button provides additional options to select the start and end time zone, and you can also choose to use a single time zone for both. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and turn all-day event back on. Events also have the option to be repeating daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. I'm going to have the event repeat every week and end after 3 occurrences. Now clicking save, you'll see my event's been created, spanning multiple days, and I can see that I have a recurring event icon at the left of my event. Now editing my event, I can shorten the event, and then I'm asked if I want to edit the occurrence or edit the series. In this case, I'll edit the series, and all of my events will move in unison. If I wish to modify just a single event in the series, I could limit that event and say edit the occurrence. Now on the event, there is a canceled series icon that actually shows that that occurrence has been separated from a series. This event now can be modified individually, or I can still access and edit the entire series at once. If I wish to reset the series and rejoin the occurrence, I can double-click on the event to edit the series, and choose the Reset Series option. Now this event has been reset to join the series. In addition to double-clicking on events, you have the option to right-click, providing a menu for edit, copying, and deleting event. In this case, I'm going to delete that event we just created, and I'm going to delete the entire series. You'll always receive a confirmation when you are deleting events, as there is no undo for this action. Moving into the week view, at the top of the view, there is a section for all-day events. You can double-click in one of those cells that will automatically create an all-day event and have it span any duration of days. Items down in the lower area here fall within the time range, and you can adjust and create events that span specific periods of time. Currently, we're viewing all time in the 24 hours of the day. However, you can actually click the Show Business Hours button to limit your view just to your defined business hours. The start and end of the business hours is defined in the Schedule section of the admin menu. To create a new event that spans a period of time, double-click on a cell, and then you can actually drag and drop from the top and bottom to span different time. If you want to create another event in the same day, double-click in a cell, and that event will now live side by side with your previous event. If we want to step into the day view, we can go into day, and navigating back a day, I can see that I have some existing events along with an all-day event. At the right and left of the all-day event are arrows indicating that that event spans longer than the current view. Just as I could in the week view, I can click on any cell in the day. I can associate this with another calendar, and then I can drag that out and move it around to fit the time schedule as needed. I can right-click, I can edit the event, I can make additional assignments, associate a resource, and choose Save, and that information will appear on my calendar. Now, while the day, week, and month view do provide for editing inside of the calendar, the agenda view is strictly read-only. But the same visibility rules applies for selecting calendars and determining which items actually appear on that calendar, and also how the events are colored, whether or not they're using event colors, calendar, resource, task, or location colors. To navigate the dates on the calendar, you can click on the left and right arrows here to move backwards and forwards in time, or you can click on the date to bring up a mini calendar that allows you to select specific dates. I can click on the month to zoom out, and I can click on the year to zoom even further out to select other periods of time. Clicking on the year will zoom me back in, clicking on another month will zoom me back in, and then I can select an individual date on the mini calendar to navigate to that point in time. Additionally, clicking on today will take you to the current day. When viewing our calendars, in addition to limiting which calendars are visible, we can actually filter our events by using the filter panel. Clicking on the filter button at the top right brings up our filter panel, and I can create a new filter item where I can select from various event fields. In this case, I'm going to filter by location and choose all of my Los Angeles locations. Clicking the filter button will filter my events across all of the calendars. Now, if I want to use this and keep this as a filter for later, I can click the Save button and call this Los Angeles Events. And now that filter will be available from my filter dropdown. I can switch back to all items, and at any point in time, I can recall that filter to show those items. Now with the filter panel, you can actually create complex filter scenarios. In this case, I can add an additional expression where my task is equal to a conference call. I'm going to filter that. And now I can see all of my conference calls that are happening in Los Angeles at that time. When working with filters, at the bottom of the panel, you'll see a preview of the filter expression. As you create more and more complex filters, it's always helpful to refer to this expression to see exactly how that expression is grouped and how that would be working. Now I can save over this existing filter if I choose Save and save over the same name, or I can give it a new name and save it as a new filter. So now we have our Los Angeles events as well as our Los Angeles conference calls. I can reset back to all items, or if I did have a filter selected, I can always open the panel and click Clear. If I wish to delete a filter, I can select that filter and from the filter panel choose Delete, and that will delete my current filter and reset my filter settings. Now, any currently selected filters can be shared with other users. Clicking over to the Share tab I can select additional users or user groups to share this filter with. By sharing filters, you can set up complex views that can be immediately accessed by any user that the filter is shared with. In addition to those tools, we can also copy calendars. We also have the option to export the current calendar view to an iCal file format. This iCal file can be imported into any calendar application that supports the iCal format. Please keep in mind that all events that are currently displayed in the view will be exported, not just the currently selected calendar. Additionally, any filtering that is applied will be applied to that exported data. This is also true of exporting your calendar to a PDF file. When you export to PDF, the current view is exported in its current state with all filtering applied. Lastly, if you want to see information about the event without having to open the Edit panel, simply click on the event and a tooltip will pop up with some brief information about the details of that event. The tooltip will stay up until you click away. And that is a brief overview of working in calendars with NIM. For full details on calendars, please refer to the NIM documentation. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email us at support@nim-labs.com. Thank you.